Okay, let's do this thing. Jason Samargis. Did I say it right?
Yeah.
Okay, because I know everybody at the damn competitions always butchers your name. What do they always call you? Samargis?
Samargis and Samargis.
Yeah, are they getting Kendra's name right now?
Yeah, they are now.
Yeah, so how about you fill us in on what you do, dude? Well, just so people who don't know what you do.
I run a full functioning boxing gym. We do MMA, jiu-jitsu, boxing, everything. I mean, we do all the recovery stuff for all the athletes. It was kind of a vision for me when we started to have a gym where nobody else had to go anywhere else. You know, we have everything.
Yeah, can you try pulling this mic up? Just like scoot the whole thing like this.
Okay.
There we go.
Better?
Now I can hear your beautiful voice. Yeah, I just did a cupping session with Jason on my back. I'm gonna show y'all my damn back. If you're watching the video, check it out. Now I'm like Mark Tonge, all shirtless on here.
Andrew Tate.
I should just get some sunglasses on.
There you go.
Get a cigar. Sit here shirtless with my man titties hanging. So how's life, dude?
Good.
You just were out buying a car.
Yeah, my son's car took a crap, but that's what happens when it's a 2004 Chevy Cavalier.
Yeah, thanks for the cupping though, by the way. I feel good. I feel like there was like, damn, it was way tighter than I expected it was going to be. Yeah. You do that stuff to yourself often? You said you make Riley do it to you.
Yeah. I have to have Riley do it to my lower back. I can't get back there.
Yeah, what kind of stretches? You were saying you have back problems. You do like some stretching or something?
Yeah. I try to stretch the hip flexors really good. And then that psoas muscle, which I didn't realize what a psoas muscle was until I injured it in 2019. And that was probably the worst pain I've ever been through. It put me in tears for a couple days.
Wait, what? When did I meet you? 2020?
Yeah, I think it was 2020.
It was probably like the end of 2019.
Yeah.
Probably right when you hurt yourself. When did you do it?
No,
in
it was
2019?
2018. Excuse me. It was 2018. We were at the national championships in Salt Lake City is when I heard it. So it was going into 2019. Yeah.
Oh, okay. And then, yeah, so I met you guys. I came over to your gym to do some training.
Yep.
And then I just started finding out the fucking level you guys are competing at and pushing yourselves to. I feel like you run into these gyms, you know, I've trained at like quite a few martial arts gyms at this point in my life. And it's fortunate when you run into a gym where people are competing, like actually in there getting, you know, the competition level. Because some people, they just kind of like go through the motions, I think, or like maybe they were just like very hobbyist. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then there's people who are like, this is what we do. And your guys' gym, it's like, this is what we do. We are boxers. First and foremost, boxing.
Yeah.
That's your baby. How long have you been boxing for?
I started when I was about 7 years old.
At 7?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm 54 now.
Hey, Riley. Yeah. Could you turn that AC off? I forgot. Just to get a little quieter in here. Thank you. So boxing when you were 7. Wait, Riley, how old are you? We got Riley, Jason's child here. What? I'm 11. 11? Damn. When did he start boxing? Riley, scoot in here. Come say hi.
When I was
Come say hi to the mic.
Hello. Hi.
When did you start boxing, Riley?
When I was 3 years old in my garage.
With Jason?
Yeah.
Damn. All right. Thank you. You're done. Bye. Damn, dude. I'm like, I just keep thinking about it's probably gonna get hot as hell in here. If it does, we'll throw the AC back
All
on.
right.
Yeah, damn. I'm just like, I always think, damn, who is gonna be those sorry kids that mess with like Riley or Skylar? Like, they're gonna piece them up. I already have like talked to Skylar about some kids. I'm like, do kids mess with you? Because I'd imagine their egos, like those from the street kids, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I don't need to learn fighting. I'm from the streets.
Everyone's a fighter until it's time to fight. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's when I was a kid, it was the same thing. You know, we had kids, you know, wanted to pick fights with me, or they heard that I did this or did that. And no, I wasn't all that, you know what I mean? But I wasn't afraid to fight, you know? Okay, somebody take a swing at me, hit me, whatever, you know, we'll fight, you know?
Yeah, you're definitely not afraid to fight. Even with just your words, like with anything, dude, you are just like stand your ground, talk about the uncomfortable stuff kind of dude. It's always, It's always fun running into you, talking to you, because I swear I'll just leave. Every time I talk to you, when I run into you at the gym, we sit there and talk for a while. I'll leave just a little bit more depressed about the world. Like, damn, this world really is so fucked up. You are like an encyclopedia, though. I feel like you're like absorbing so much information all the time. And every time I run into you, I'll talk to you about this stuff, and you like, I'll dump a little bit of it on me. And then I'll like learn about it. I'll hear people talk about it later on. Maybe it's because I'm aware of it now and I'll start hearing it. But I'm just like, damn, that's exactly what Jason said. Yeah. Are you not going crazy or what?
No, I don't know. My mind works a little bit different. Like, I look at everything. I've always tried to pick what could be the worst situation. You know what I mean? And how do you get out of that situation with anything? You know, what's the worst possible scenario that can happen in what you're doing, or with life as it is? You know what I mean? You're still living, you're still breathing, you're still up. You know, do you give in, or do you fight on? You know what I mean? That's like I was talking about. I was never afraid to fight. You know, that's all the way through. I'm in it till we win it. You know what I mean? Or, you know, something else happens. But I don't know. My mentality on everything is you can overcome it all.
There's I think it was a Plato quote you were always saying. It was last year, maybe, or 2 years ago. You were always saying this quote. What was it again?
Only the dead have seen the end of war. That's
right. Only the dead have seen the end of war. Yeah, you were always, that was like your mantra for a while. I haven't heard you say it in a minute, though.
I know.
You got a new one?
No, I don't have a new one.
You're just like, got tired of saying it all the time. The other one, what was the other one? You always be like, I just have visuals of you and people around in the ring, like doing shitty workouts and you yelling certain, you had like catchphrases. You always had like catchphrases. But we're going to start filming back up because we're going to make a feature length film this time, which is like 45 minutes minimum. And we're going to tell, because we got exciting things coming up in your guys' story. How do you feel about that first film, by the way?
It was really good. I mean, you did an amazing job. I mean, it was.
You liked it? I'm glad you liked it, dude. Even though Kendra got second in that film. How does that feel? Because I always wonder, is that like a painful memory to look back on? Or is that like an inspiring memory to look back on when it doesn't go the way you expected?
Well, it's never really going to go the way that you dream of going. You know what I mean? You're always going to have ups and downs. You know, if you win all the time, then you'll never know the aspect of losing and overcoming that and coming back, I think. You know what I mean? Everyone's always, it's just society too. I mean, along with the boxers, nowadays they think, you know, you got to have that O, you know what I mean? You know, 50-0. Floyd Mayweather made it, you know, famous with that 50-0. But literally, he went 50-0. But there was guys, you know, that went 86-5, or you know what I mean, and were absolutely amazing and did amazing things. So they're at a lower level. I think they actually gained more from losing than they gained from winning all the time. You know what I mean? Because Kendra, nothing's ever been given. You know that. You've seen some of the decisions we got. You know, and that's been my life too. Nothing's ever given. You have to work for everything. You know, and that's just, nobody's going to give you that little pat on the butt and fucking second place trophy. Who gives a fuck about a second place trophy? Who gives a shit about a trophy? You know what I mean? You want to be standing there and you want to be victorious in life or in the boxing ring. You know, I think, you know, to be able to just overcome everything. You know what I mean? Life's hard. You know, paying bills is hard. You know, working's hard. You know what I mean? But we do it every day. Some people give in. But, you know, they're never going to see that, you know, hey, if I'd have lasted fucking 30 more seconds or another day, you know, what could have came of my life?
Yeah, it just seems like you guys are always in that freaking super warrior mentality. And so it's like, how do you determine when you're victorious? Like, are you determining victorious as in your arm being raised, or are you thinking of it in a different sense?
You constantly got to have another goal. You can't, I'm going to do this and be done. What's done? You know what I mean? You're going to sit on the couch. I mean, David Goggins is a prime example of that. Well, he's never done. He'll tell you he's never fucking done. You know, oh, I ran 112 miles a day. Okay, I'm going to run 112.2 tomorrow. You know, I'm not fucking done.
Have you read his book, Never Finished? The
I
second one?
have not. I have not.
That one I felt like hit a little deeper because it's like hitting on post success after he's already sold 6 million copies of his Can't Hurt Me book. He's well off, and now he's like getting old. His knees are like all fucked up.
You know what? We listened to the podcast when we were going down to nationals this last year. Yeah, Kendra and I.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The podcasts are so great. Was it with Joe Rogan?
Yeah.
Yeah, those ones are so great because it's like he touches on a lot. The book was cool because his mom comes on the audiobook. She like talks about stuff, and it really just like reaffirms his story. And then it really touches on the never finished aspect. Like, oh, you know, we finished Can't Hurt Me. I did all this success. Everything was good right off to the sunset, but it's not even. Dude, I get conflicted with that because it's like, you want to ride off to the sunset with like a healthy body and like not be in suffering. But David Goggins takes to the next level where it's like would rather be like crippled, barely alive at his death because he gave it everything. You know what I mean? Like pushing till his knees are just completely screwed bone on bone and beyond. And if he can't walk, he's gonna crawl. If he can't do wheelchair races or something, like he's always gonna find something that he can just push himself in. And it's like, damn. It's I get it because I love the thought process of like, he's not special. Everyone, if you work hard enough, you can do it. But it's also like, damn, dude, you got to give everything. Like you got to be willing to like sacrifice your body, sacrifice like social things, like how much of sacrifice do you think is the line? You know what I mean? Of like devoting to mastering your mind and your body. I guess it all boils down to the mind. Yeah. But when it comes to physical endeavors, that's like the quickest way to get your mind to the test. Can you keep pushing when you're tired? But how much is too much? Is there too much? You know what I mean? What do you think?
Shoot, I mean, I don't know. That's a hard one to answer. I mean, you want to do enough to finish what you're doing, I guess. You know what I mean? But you want to be able to do it again tomorrow and do it again tomorrow. Push it a little bit more and do it again and do it again and do it again and do it over and over and over. I'm into repetition. I mean, in boxing, martial arts, it's all repetitive motion. You know what I mean? But as Bruce Lee said it with, from the Wing Chun to the Jeet Kune Do, he made martial arts, it's ever evolving. You know what I mean? There's no, okay, you finished. You know what I mean? You're at the top of your game now. No, it's always evolving. You know what I mean? Just like you can look at any martial arts, because I took Kung Fu Sansu for about 7.5 years.
What is that?
They teach it to special forces. It's more street fighting.
Like Krav Maga stuff?
You're fighting more than one opponent, and you want to dilapidate. You don't want to just absolutely take. You have one guy, you want to take him out of the scenario. So now you only have two other guys to fight.
Lining people up. So
but you're picking like what you're determining what you're. I guess what holds the most
leverage.
I can't even think of the word. Like who's the most dangerous? Like if there's three guys
prioritizing.
Yeah, you're prioritizing your attack. So, but I don't want to spend any more than 30 seconds on you, and then I want to go to the next guy and the next guy if I want to survive. You know what I mean? They teach a lot to the Green Beret. A lot of the special forces teams use them. I don't know about the Navy SEALs. I know the Green Berets were using it a lot, but it's hand to hand. There's no competition for it. It's, I'm going to pull your eye out and put it on your cheek. You know what I mean? Or push your nose through, hit you in the throat and be done. It's not pretty. You know what I mean? It's far from pretty, but it's just, I don't know. It's just.
You did that one for a while?
Yeah, I did that one for a while. And then, boxing it transferred over into boxing for me. I was able to use my body, like both ways. I teach boxing to where you can fight both ways, right-handed and left-handed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you're deadly from all angles.
Yeah, because I remember I approached you about that once because I had seen on like the after show of DAZN, and they were like, some commentator was like, yeah, oh, he always is trying to switch stances, but it's not good because his defense is a little less when he's southpaw because it's not his natural stance.
Yeah.
And I came to you because I remember you guys are always doing that, and I was like, what do you think about this comment? And what do you think about it now? Now let's just get your answer here.
I mean, I was always told if you weren't 100% in your normal stance, whether you're orthodox or southpaw, then what are you doing switching over? Okay. But if I'm 50% here and then 75% here, now am I above that 100%? You know what I mean? So I'm creating different angles, and if you do the numbers, or if I'm 50-50 both ways, then I'm at 100%. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they say the thing I love about boxing, the sweet science of boxing, it's like if you were looking at it like a chess board, and it's like these are your options. You put your foot here, you can throw uppercut, a hook, a cross from that position with your hips loaded at this position. Then it's like if you only are in orthodox, it seems like you just took half your board away, and you don't get, because it's like it seems to me, correct me if I'm wrong, like it all boils down to the leg work, right?
Yeah.
So it's all the leg work, the way you move, because that determines where you're at. If you're moving your legs and stepping
On the
in.
angles.
Yeah, the angles, and like getting that advantageous angle where you're not going to get hit, but you're going to be able to hit them in the openings. So you're like switching, cutting a diagonal angle over here, or dipping and cutting angles here, or walking backwards, switching angles. So if it's all about the angles and the footwork, because that's going to put you in a place and the way your hips loaded, the punches are kind of like just like the tip of the whip after everything's been generated. It's the tip of the whip where boom, all that energy comes out somewhere. And if you're not going to be able to learn how to throw punches from southpaw, if you're naturally orthodox, or like this, from orthodox to southpaw, then it's like, it just seems like you're going to miss out on so many extra moves that you could have been doing. Like,
and your brain, I'm right-handed normally, but I can write with both hands. I can throw balls with both hands. I can box both ways. And if you think about it, when you're standing in a stance, in your orthodox stance, okay, and your shoulders are turned, you're in a proper stance. Okay, now if I switch and I switch my feet, it's taking my head from here to here, or from here to here. So I'm taking more offline just by switching, without even having to do
just by an inch,
without even having to slip a punch, without having to rotate, without having to slip my head or turn my shoulders. I'm already gaining that inch. So when I gain more from that, you know what I mean. To me, everyone's going to the switching stances now. Now in 2005. I was at the Olympic Training Center. We were there for nationals. We spent about a week, and I was told, I'm not going to name the coach's name, but he told me that basically what I was doing was limiting my boxers, and it was never going to go anywhere with what we're teaching. You know what I mean? What I'm teaching. Well,
this guy was less experienced, wasn't he?
No, he was actually.
Oh, really? Okay, so
yeah, he has a huge ego, and he's still got that ego. Okay. But you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But I don't see any of his people doing anything or making any noise anymore. So
it's so funny too, because with martial arts, it seems so like the people I feel like forget the art aspect of it, because it seems so expressive and like malleable. Like it can be someone could do it different.
Yeah.
Like everyone has styles, and I think some people get stuck on like, no, you're not doing that right. Do it the way I do it, and maybe it works for that guy though, and maybe you guys have different styles, and maybe if the styles match up, the one that you're criticizing would beat your style, and you don't even know it.
Yep.
It's so weird.
Well, I think every boxer, every person is different. We're all different. We all have different, body movements. We're all more comfortable doing something. The balancing your weight throughout, throwing punches, taking punches. Coaches that I'll teach the basics. You know what I mean? Just the 1-2, slip, 1 2 3, 1 2 3 4, and break it down. Body, head, and then. I'll see gyms across the country, and I was in gyms, that if you weren't doing it the same way as their top guy or what that coach was teaching, then you were looked over. Does that make sense? You were that guy that was unteachable because I couldn't do it exactly to where you're doing it. But my body's different. You know what I mean? You can teach me all the basics, run it down with me, but my body's not going to move the same as you. If you're 130 pounds and I'm 230 pounds, you know what I mean? My body's going to move different. I'm going to move different. My mind's going to work different than yours. Even though I'm doing the same punches as you do, I'm not going to look the same as you.
Where do you feel like you see the like full skill of an athlete, the potential? Where do you see the potential most? When you're coaching them, or when they're hitting the bag, when you're coaching them hitting the bag, or they're hitting pads with you, or when they're sparring, because I feel like sparring seems like the place where it's like, can this guy take a punch? Can this guy stay cool and collected when it's like chaos in there? Because hitting pads, it's like fun and it's a great workout, hitting the bag and stuff, but it's like they always say, the bags don't hit back.
Yeah.
And it just seems like that's such a key piece of knowing you're like, are you going to be able to do good in a real fight? How do you feel about that? Where does the potential?
If you can't keep your distance on a bag, like I'll watch people and everyone wants to come in and work mitts because YouTube is an absolute, it kills people's ideas of what they're learning because everybody can, hitting mitts is choreographed. You know what I mean? It's a choreographed, it's like a dance move. It's choreographed. Boxing is like dancing. Okay. But like Mayweather made it famous with his pad work, you know what I mean? And I see all these guys doing that stuff. Okay. How many people do you see in the ring? You can say whatever you want, do whatever. These guys do this, throwing a 9-10 punch combo, slipping on the inside, not fully extending their punches and finishing that guy. You know what I mean? That mitt work. You can, and I tell my boxers whenever we go somewhere, and Kendra fell into it. Everyone falls into it. Everybody. If you see your opponent before the fight working mitts and you're like, oh my God, they just hit like a 6-punch combo and look at the dips and okay, but that's not real life. You know what I mean? Because now you're going to be hitting them back. So are you interrupting that 9-punch choreographed combination that they went, and it's bad. YouTube has, just made people, there's a lot of fakes out there. You know what I mean? Proper punching is full extension, using your body, making sure your body's turned on that punch, making sure your hands are coming back. If they're not working that on the bag, then I'm definitely not going to work mitts with you. You know what I mean? Until you can do what I'm saying on the bag. You know what I mean? You start hitting that bag correctly and, using it as a tool versus just beating the shit out of it. Because you'll get these guys and they'll just start hammering stuff and, oh, my hands hurt or my back hurts. Okay, you're not hitting it right. It's a tool. You got to use it just like a mechanic uses it to work on something. You know what I mean? If he's got a wrench, is he going to hammer the bolt in? Or is he going to turn the wrench? You know what I mean? Full extension on punches, making the hands come back to the face. It's hard. Nobody wants to bring their hands back to their face. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh my God, dude. I was training with Isaiah and we're hitting those those square things that are on the wall, that you can uppercut them and stuff. We're sitting there hitting them and we're just like going through some basic punches. And I would hit, and I always try to think because I want to make it so it's memory just to hit and I come to my temple. Yep. So I just keep coming back. And I told Isaiah to do it and he was having fun doing it. And he'd always, I did it too all the time. He'd always return to his chest, punch and then come to his chest. And I'm like, dude, put it up to your head. And he goes, well, it's not as fun that way. And I was just, what the fuck, dude? What do you mean it's not as fun, dude? It's not going to be fun when someone punches you in the face.
Exactly. And everyone comes in and they with our classes, I try to run our classes the same as the competition team. We'll work on something and we'll just work on that, and I've had some people, well, this is boring. Okay, well, do it correctly and we'll move on. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But we don't run a title boxing gym. We're not some, what I mean? It's not it's not it's an awesome cardio workout if you use it and you do it. You know what I mean? It's the best workout you'll ever do in your life.
Yeah, that's a great thing about your guys' gym is that it's very, it's a dual style gym. Like you got the, public side where it's you come and join a bunch of other beginners who are learning, but then you got like that tight group you have of just like elite, people who, I would even say the tightest. I just love when I see like, dude, it's so cool. Like when we were shooting sparring the other day and just, Kendra goes up there and it's just so cool. Like her status and her experience. I'm like, damn, it's so cool. She's just up there and you have a chance to work with all this experience and knowledge,
Yeah.
and like just to learn if you really are serious about being a competitor, you can be around this environment full of other competitors and like, that's just helping you rise up.
You build off of each other.
Yeah. And the other thing about like sometimes I'll go in there and I'll just go really slow because I think of it like playing piano. Like I'll try my jab and just do it really slow and perfect, and I'll just keep like doing it until I can feel like, all right, I think I'll do it like that all the time. Hopefully, I feel like I try to treat it the way I would like treat piano. And I've taught Isaiah a piano song before, and I explained it to him like this: it's like you can't just like look at a song, go watch a YouTube tutorial. Oh, those are the way the notes go. Okay, I'm gonna do it, and then you try to do it fast, and if you go fast, you just play the wrong notes all the time, and that's not the song. You have to start slow so you make sure you hit the right notes in the right time. Yeah. And it's just like boxing. That's how boxing is too. It's like if you go too fast and you're not ready for it,
it's the same with everything. It's the repetitive motion. Like I was saying, going back to what Bruce Lee said, it's repetitive motion, always evolving. You know what I mean? So you're going to add to that song. You know what I mean? You're going to do all your moves up to that point and then add something different that's your own.
Yeah, that seems to be like you have to master the fundamentals, and then that's when the artistic expression comes in. Yeah. Once you can do everything with almost like without even thinking, then you can be creative and throw in things that are just you.
Yep.
And because the foundation is there, and if you don't have that foundation, you try doing whatever you want, it's probably just going to be ugly bullshit. This guy doesn't know what he's doing. He's just doing some drunken master shit or something.
Pretty much.
Although I've seen drunken master shit seem to work pretty good. Like all the drunken master boxing styles I've ever, like what videos I've actually seen, it seems to like, man, they're doing damn good. Like they're fucking smacking guys in the face.
Because you don't know where the punch is coming from.
But it seems so open. Like you're just like hands not covering up. And, wow. It's like that one, the Prince, what's that? Prince
Nassim?
Yeah, Prince Nassim. He is so fun to watch because it looks like One Punch Man vibe. Like they're not even trying. They're just having fun out there and they're just screwing around and landing shots. It's crazy, but so much opening. So for me, it was all a little battle because I love to watch like those kind of artsy boxers, and I'm not at all a competitive boxer by any means, but I just love martial arts in general, and I just want to come. I love to. It's like a game of tag in my view. Like whenever I like come for sparring, it just feels like let's play a game of tag. If I can touch you or you can touch me, let's go. And I just love those crafty like Muhammad Ali's who are just like hands down, kicking their legs around and hands on the ropes, moving their head. Like what the fuck? Like so I would try to like have that tall, upright swiftiness when I would go to sparring. But for some reason, it doesn't work for me. I think I don't got the foundations down quite like those guys.
Well, you got to remember they were doing the repetitive motions over and over and over again, and then they formed their own style. Like Lomachenko, for instance, he's absolutely one of the best fighters out there, and his style is just amazing. You know what I mean? Hit, don't be hit. You know what I mean? He's always taking angles. And, his dad made him take dance and all that stuff. Yeah. And he did wrestling and, you know what I mean? He learned his body. Mm-hmm. A lot of people don't learn their bodies. You know what I mean? I'm still learning my body, you know what I mean, with all the recovery stuff we do and, what works and what doesn't work, you know what I mean?
Seems to be an ongoing journey because your body's always changing as we get older too.
Yep.
Yeah, the dance seems to be like the one like art form, like performance art that translates so well into martial arts.
Into martial arts because, it's putting you in different places and you're comfortable being there because you're transitioning your weight, you're bringing your weight back, you know what I mean? And you can put the rest of your body, but it all starts with your legs, your feet,
Yeah, the foot thing is, I feel like that's what you see when you watch, some new guy come into the gym and you see him go start hitting the bag. I always just look at their feet or if their hands are going back to their head to try to scale or judge, I guess, how experienced they are.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that person's footwork's on point. Look at them.
Well, when they come into the gym and they're boxing, I mean, say you're 20 something years old, you walk into the gym, you never boxed before, but you've been walking for, 22 years, 23 years, when you were learning how to walk, now you had to crawl. You know what I mean? Everything's slow. If you can't do it slow, you can't do it fast. You know what I mean? That's another one I always used to say. But if you can't do it slow, you can't do it fast. So when you were learning how to walk as a kid, did you get up and run? You know what I mean? No, you weren't no fucking track star. You know what I mean? You fucking stood up, fell down, got up. Okay, now I got my balance. It's the same thing when somebody comes off the street and you're teaching them how to box. They're not going to be fucking perfect. And you're doing something completely different than what they're used to. Because your bodies will adjust. Like if you have a hurt leg, you know what I mean? You'll put more pressure on that other leg. You know what I mean? So it's the same thing with walking. If you're right-handed, you know what I mean? Most of the time you'll step with that left foot first and then your right foot almost every time. You know what I mean? And it's the same thing with the southpaw. They'll step. You know what I mean? That's the easiest position to get into because you're balancing off that leg. You know what I mean? So your left leg is your stronger leg at that point. So then you're pushing with that leg to push your right leg up. And then vice versa for somebody that's, orthodox. I don't know if that makes any sense.
Yeah, a little bit. I get a little bit lost in the mechanics of time, trying to just draw it in my head. But one thing I feel like, what the fuck? I just had it in my mind. I just completely lost it. Let me get it. Well, another thing I want to bring up was the McGregor documentary. Did you see McGregor Forever?
I have not.
It's on Netflix. And the one thing that fucking...
Every time I turn TV on, I fall asleep. I turn on Ancient Aliens and I'm done.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Freaking, well, that documentary is cool because he just busted his leg. He snapped his leg on Poirier. Well, that documentary picks up with him at the hospital with his legs busted. And he's just like, you fucking fix it. I want a rematch. I want to go back in. He just wants to go. And the people are like, the people around him kind of have that vibe of like, man, maybe your career is like, you need to calm down. Like this could be the end of your career. And he's like, I'm doing this. He says this from the hospital bed. He's like, if you're not in it till you die, then you're not in it. You're really not in it at all. And he's like, it's McGregor forever, baby. And he's like dead set on fighting till the day he dies. And I'm like, that's fucking so crazy because it's like that's the sport you cannot fight.
Yeah.
You're gonna die. For sure. Like if you're getting old and you're jumping in with these like young, strong, testosterone filled fucking like eyes on the prize motherfuckers, like I guess if you are still built like that, then hopefully you can live. But it just seems like time catches up to all of us, and you're like fighting is one where you have to know that sweet spot when to retire.
Yeah.
And then, but I was also very inspired by his dedication to his craft. I'm like, damn, that's fucking like samurai shit. Like I'm doing this to death until someone puts me down. And I'm like, damn, how much of that spirit do you feel like you have in yourself? Because you're a fucker. You're always, dude, I feel like you're always doing things. And you're what, 40?
54.
You're 54?
Yeah.
Oh my God, no idea. That's what I mean, dude. You just fucking operate. I mean, that 54 is not like an old person anymore. Fucking Joe Rogan, like the most jacked dude on this earth.
Yeah.
He's like, what's he like, 50?
I think he's as old as me or a year older. I think.
Yeah, he's about the same. Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Fucking, yeah, it seems like that. In my mind, back in the day, it seems like that was like, you're trying to become a grandpa, but I mean, you are a grandpa, but a badass grandpa. It's like you can be badass still and shit. Yeah, how do you feel about, boxing and shit as you're getting older?
I mean, the competition days are long gone, but I don't even really spar with anybody anymore. I mean, if you're coaching, I'll get in the ring sometimes, you know what I mean? But it's to show somebody how to do it, you know what I mean? I've seen people and I've seen coaches that were done with boxing and they wanted to coach, but they weren't really done with boxing. You know what I mean? You have to pick a time where, your time was done at a certain point. So now you can, give that knowledge away, teach that knowledge, and teach somebody to help them fulfill whatever they want to fulfill with, what you're doing. But there is a lot of assholes out there that'll get in the ring with somebody and all that ego comes out. You know what I mean? To me, boxing is not a dick show. You know what I mean? If you take advantage of it, you're going to get fucking hurt. You know what I mean? Or you can get in there and hurt somebody, and there's some coaches out there that I've seen, across the country. You see it all the time. I've been in gyms where the coach will get in and his ego will fucking pop in and he'll light somebody up that he's, trying to teach how to box. And that's absolute bullshit. You know what I mean? I won't get in the ring, to, adjust my ego, I guess, is what I'm talking about.
I've seen those videos too. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's horrible. It's not good for the sport. You know what I mean? It's not good for life.
Yeah. The only thing really happening there is that the coach gets to feel like they're still a badass.
Yeah. But then, then you don't have a gym or, you know what I mean? Or
no learning occurred.
You got no learning and now you've lost a student. You know what I mean? Somebody that might have done something in the sport or, maybe just wanted to be there to fucking hang out. You know what I mean?
Or need someone. I mean, a lot of bully people run to gyms, to martial arts gyms.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I know you have met a bunch of kids from all aspects of life, and especially some that have had hard times and been bullied and stuff like that. So I feel like it's so funny. People who don't do martial arts, they think that you're going to go do martial arts, you're going to become the bully.
Yeah,
but it's like we were talking about. Like you have to like squash that ego and learn that you're a baby walking. Yeah. And once you understand that you're like a baby trying to learn how to walk, your ego has to like die. Because you can't just walk around thinking, I'm the baddest motherfucker. There's no one that anyone's going to teach me anything. I'm going to beat everybody up.
And you're not going to learn anything.
Yeah.
You're not going to learn a damn thing.
And someone is going to be able to beat you up for sure. You're just delusional. Like, you're delusional. You just haven't met enough of the right people.
Oh, yeah.
And they're out there. It's scary how dangerous of people exist out there. I'm just like, God damn, dude. I would hate to have like crossed some people. I'm just like, damn. Somebody's going to want to fucking prove their ego at a bar to this guy, and it's going to be a bad night.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I want to ask you, too, was for fighting, I just feel like there's a ferocity level that has to be, I don't know if it can be like taught or you have to be born with it, that fighting spirit of like, because in other sports, let's use track, for instance, you're running and you're running against your competitors and you feel that resistance, that tiredness that you should stop, quit feeling, and you can slow down and there's no like super big wall. It's all up to you, and you finish the race, and all that's really hurt is your pride and your lungs. In fighting, you feel that fighting spirit. You go in there, and it's not like just you with your competitor next to you. It's them punching you straight in the face. The world going dizzy. Your fucking liver hurting because someone just smacked your ass, and you're like feeling nervous to go back out because damn, this guy's might hurt me. I might fall asleep in front of everybody around here or something, like worst case scenario, or there's more worst case scenarios than that. But I feel like you have to have this ferociousness where it's like you need a maximum amount of resiliency where it's like, oh, I feel tired, I feel beat up, but fuck it, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna fucking get this guy.
You have to put it in, and I kind of hit on it when we first started talking. You have to have a controlled rage. You have to have an absolute fucking switch in you, and that can be put in you by coaching, by the people you're around. You know what I mean? You can be the nicest person walking down the street, picking up fucking flowers out of people's yards, whatever the fuck. But you have to put yourself in a place in your mind that somebody just kicked in my fucking door. Okay. So now this guy's got a knife, gun, or there's 2 or 3 more people. Are you going to let these people take your fucking life, take everything out of your fucking house, take your family, take everything you've worked for? Are you going to let that person take it from you? Okay. When you get in the ring, and I teach this to my fighters, you have to have a rage. You have to have a switch. That person in the ring across from you, whether you're in the cage, on the mat, in the boxing ring, in real fucking life, are you going to let that person take what you worked for or take your life? You know what I mean? You have to be willing to give everything in there. If you quit in the ring, it's easy because you're going to quit your whole fucking life, you know? Or you can come back and say, okay, I fucked up, because you got a second chance, you know what I mean? But you have to put yourself in that situation to where, well, am I going to let this is my ring. You're not taking this ring from me. You know what I mean? And that's the mentality I've had through my life. You know, no, fuck you. You might have beat me up, but we'll both go to the fucking hospital. You know what I mean? And you're not taking nothing from me. That's your ring when you're in there. As in any combat sport, you have to realize that it could be death, like you touched upon with, you know, in the UFC. You know what I mean? It could be death. Are you going to be the one dying? Or are you going to be the one killing? You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be that extreme. You know what I mean? People think, oh, that's animalistic. Well, fucking humans are animalistic. You know, look what we've come from. Look what we still are. You know what I mean? You'll still run into that person that don't give a fuck. You're not going to stop me from breathing. You know what I mean? That's the way I try to impose on when, you know, my even my kids, you know what I mean? Nobody can beat you.
Do you feel that they need to have that mindset from start to end of the fight? Even if you run in there and let's say you run in there and you met someone they're just better than you. They have sharpened their tools better than you, and
you outwork them. You outwork them. How bad do you want it? How bad do you want it? You know what I mean? Just like Eric Thomas, you know, you got to want it as bad as you want to fucking breathe. You put your head underwater and you got to want whatever you're doing in life as bad as you want to fucking breathe right now. As bad as you want to take a fucking breath underwater, you got to want that as much in life. Are you going to die? Or are you going to survive?
And how much, I mean, I feel like if you turn that rage switch on, there could be an argument made that maybe your skill, like the precision of your moves can, you know, fall because
I'm not talking anger. Okay. If you get in the ring and you're angry and you're mad, you know what I mean? Mayweather was famous for that. You know what I mean? And there was all kinds of guys that were good at talking shit. You know what I mean? And they would get you mad. And then you get in the ring mad. Versus, I have a controlled rage. You didn't fucking make me mad. I'm going to get in here and I'm going to fuck you up and show you. You're going to be mad. You know, you can't. Rage and anger are two different things. You know what I mean? Rage you can turn on and off. Anger is something that's built up to you. You know what I mean? Like, okay, you talked about my sister. Okay, that really didn't make me mad. You know. Okay, now you talked about my wife. Well, now you fucking made me mad. So you went from not really angry, now I'm fucking angry. So now instead of me having controlled rage when I step in the ring with you, I'm fucking mad. You know what I mean? I'm going to talk shit about your mom while I'm beating you up. And you're going to take, you know what I mean? You're taking away my mindset of I just want to beat you just to beat you. You know what I mean? You're not taking anything away from me while I'm in here. Does that make sense? Sometimes I ramble on because my mind works way fucking different.
Yeah, no, your mind definitely works different. And I knew that's why I wanted to get you on this podcast too, because I know that, dude, you got so many insightful things. I feel like there's always like quotable things when I'm talking with you. I'm like, damn, I should have fucking wore a wire or something that got some of this. Yeah, but let's talk about your wife.
All right.
Don't get mad. But dude, you guys met at Langdon's is what it was? Or where'd you guys meet?
At Lamb Weston.
Lamb West.
Yeah.
What the fuck is Langdon's? That's the fish food in Buell, isn't it?
I think so, yeah.
I'm from Buell, so that's why it popped in my head. Lamb West. Is that place still?
Yeah, it's still around.
I know. I saw that they had like some that like documentary kind of thing online about it was talking heavy shit about Lamb West. There's a lot of interviews with people and they were talking a lot of shit. Seemed like, and I know you guys didn't have the greatest experience yourselves. I don't know. Is that true, right?
Oh, I was trying to unionize the plant.
Definitely true.
That was probably some of the videos you saw. I mean, you know, and I mean, unions are just people working together against corporations, so the corporations don't fuck you.
Although I would argue with you that that's pretty communist of you.
It's, you know, to a point it is, but I mean, do you want to work for pennies or do you want to work for dollars? You know what I mean?
Yeah, but and I guess the free market argument with that is like, well, if you're not treating them right, those fuckers are just gonna leave and do what they want to do, exactly like what you just did, like what you did.
Yeah, you know,
and that's probably better for you and better, it punishes them. Maybe they'll boost the shit up because they realize they have no retention.
Oh no, they took away their pension as soon as they voted the union out.
Oh really?
Yeah, there was 600 employees at that time in our plant. We were the biggest plant that Lamb Weston had out of like 21 companies. And about half of those were unionized. In fact, in American Falls, they got a union there. It's not real strong, but they still have their pension. They still have their 401k. They still have their benefits, which these guys over here, they still have their 401k. They absolutely took your pension away. You know what I mean? They shut it off right when the union, and I told them they would because that's just standard play. We were working with the Teamsters out of Boise, 483, and they handle all the UPS contracts. The guy that we had doing that for us, that he writes all UPS's contracts. UPS is fucking huge, you know what I mean? So they knew what they were doing. Well, Lamb Weston brought in these union busters, and they we had 600 people in our plant. They matched us up and did the schematics of a plant in Louisiana, which had a fucking, I think 40 people working there. Okay. And half of them wanted the union, half of them didn't. Okay. It was in a fucking nowhere town in Louisiana. They ran sweet potato fries. They didn't do what we did. We run everything from McDonald's to Burger King to Outback to, you know what I mean? To Walmart brand, Costco, everything. Our plant did. You know what I mean? We were the biggest one that Lamb Weston had. And how do you even say that 48 people are working the same as 600 people? You know what I mean? But they lied to everybody, said I was lying. They even redid contracts. I got the contracts that American Falls has versus our pay scales. These people went so far as to changing all that shit and then posting it after what I posted the original documents. You know what I mean? And then fucking lied about it. Said, well, we just made it so it was easier to read. So you fucking lied about it. You know what I mean? We're seeing that in the press now and, about everything else. But, I mean, it's real. Corporations will fucking kill you.
Your ass, I feel like, is destined to be like an apocalypse leader. Fucking always like going against the grain and just having the voice and getting people to jump on.
I don't like bullies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I always, when I was a kid, I was, not as big as my friends because I was like on that lower end of, I guess the age bracket of, being in that class. So all my friends that I have, from high school and stuff like that or elementary school are a year older than me. You know what I mean? So I was always that smaller guy. So I was always fucking picked on. And I was the idiot that would, like I told you, I would always fight. Okay, you want to fight? Fuck it. Let's just fight. Let's get it over with because it's going to happen down the road anyway. You know what I mean? And I don't like bullies. I mean, and when I was always in fights over kids picking on other kids that had issues, autism or, you know what I mean, a little bit of mental retardation or, that were different. You know what I mean? But you know how kids are. People, kids are, they'll pick on them and, whatever, you're ugly or you're stupid. I was always fighting to stick up for those kids. And I guess it stuck with me.
Yeah, I feel the same way, man. Like I noticed that I always gravitate towards, the slower people. That's why I became friends with you.
That's exactly right.
Just kidding. But I do feel the same way. But, fuck, dude. Every time, dude. That we talk, and then I get this like topic in my head. I'm like, oh my God, I gotta ask him this. And then we'll talk. We were talking
about Kendra. Kendra and I met.
Oh yeah. That was fucking like, oh yeah, you guys met there. Fucking also, no, this is the other thing I want to bring up was, so with your view, you try to unionize and all that. Right now there's a writer's strike, and I was just in LA and I was hanging out with some of my friends in the industry. And they were talking about the writer's strike and like, yeah, it's fucked up. They need to pay the writers better because everyone's just trying to use AI. And I was like, well, I mean, AI is also like, I'm using AI to edit this podcast. You know what I mean? It'll breeze through. I'm like, do you think that we shouldn't be allowed to use that? And they're like, no, because I mean, writers, they get paid, they have a living, like you can't put them on the street. And I was like, well, if I didn't have the AI editor, I would have hired someone to edit. Like someone out there would have hired someone to do that job. So, I mean, and then also with like Dolly, with the thing. So I was trying to find like, where is it okay to have technology that replaces jobs, and when is, you know, because people, especially in the moment of time, are very sensitive of, do not let these people lose their job to technology. It always happens. I mean, with conveyor belts, it happened. Like, what? Yeah. People need to carry the boxes from point A to point B. It was like, this fucking thing's going to take my job away. It's like, maybe your job. I mean, if for a writer, if you're mad that someone won't pay you because they're using AI, but your passion is truly writing, maybe you should just branch off and not rely on that company and just make your own. Let your writing stand for itself and be a creative with your own website where you sell or make your own, you know, movies or whatever the heck. You know, I feel like it really pushes people to go and make their own things and like go thrive on the internet in this new era we're moving into, rather than relying on the corporation to take care of them. People
are scared. I mean, that's what it was with the unionization. You know what I mean? Now, everyone gets complacent. You know what I mean? It's just like what the government is, you know, portraying that we all need. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you need this money. You need me to stop your student loans from being paid back, or, you know what I mean? You need us, you need us, you need us, you need us. When I was brought up as a kid, I was always told you had to have a good job. You had to have retirement. You had to have your 401k. You had to have great benefits. You had to have this. So, I mean, for 22 years at Lamb Weston, I was scared because I was still teaching boxing. I started teaching.
I didn't realize you were there that long.
Yeah,
holy cow!
I started teaching boxing in like 2000, 2001. Okay. And I was still boxing at the time a little bit, not really, you know, I mean, my time had passed a long time ago. I wasn't always the epitome of a good person, you know what I mean? When I was a kid, you know, I did I didn't grow up till I was 30, let's put it that way. But, you know, it just wasn't always fucking running the straight and narrow, but I totally lost my train of thought.
Dude, I know how that is. Well, we're talking about you were at Lamb Weston for 22 years.
Yeah, but people get complacent and they're told, you know, oh, you need us. You need me to do this. You need me to give you this. You know what I mean? Well, no. How about if I work and you pay me what the fuck you're supposed to pay me, or pay me the same as these other companies are paying their people? Because if your profits are increasing, but my wages are staying the same, who's making all that money? You still got some bullshit insurance that you're paying for, okay? I think at that time, my insurance was coming out of each paycheck like maybe $150 to $250 a month, okay? And then I had a deductible or a copay, okay? So I'd go to the doctor, and the doctors are a fucking scam too, you know what I mean? I think this whole shit that went on for fucking 2 years, that now, you know, we're finding out, you know, people are severely fucked up because somebody got paid a lot of money for you to get a shot that was tested for 6 months because it was such a fucking horrible thing. But I mean, if you treat a sickness, you know what I mean, then it's going to get better. If you don't treat it, what's going to happen? You know what I mean? If you fucking had a broken leg and you went to the doctor and they go, oh, just come back in a couple of weeks, what's going to happen? Well, now you're going to have an infection in that fucking leg. It's going to grow fucked up. So you're going to have to break it again and then reset it. So then they made a shit ton of money on you versus, okay, here's one boom, and you go home. You know what I mean? It's not like that.
Keep building the reoccurring customer.
Yeah. Everyone wants fucking, you know, you to be, I guess, complacent in what you're doing. Go to that job 9 to 5. You're getting paid. And hey, you're lucky we're paying you that because somewhere else you're not getting paid that. You know what I mean? For 22 years with Lamb Weston, I was an iron worker for 10 years in California. And I'll tell you what, that was probably the hardest job I've ever had. But it was absolutely the best fucking paying job. Our whole union deal was, this was in 1994. I retired from being an iron worker. Okay. And our package deal was like $65 an hour. You know, I mean, we had vacation pay, whether we took vacation or not. We got like anywhere from $1,200 to $2,400 every quarter, you know what I mean, paid to us, along with our benefits and stuff like that. But I was told that my whole life, you had to have, you know, belong to a union, or you had to have this insurance, you had to have this, you know what I mean? But now that I've retired from Lamb Weston, we don't have insurance. And guess what? I'm not paying a shit ton of money to some doctor that's just giving me these medications that I don't fucking need. I used to get sinus infections every 2 months. For 22 years at Lamb Weston, every 2 months, I would go to the doctor, get on antibiotics. Guess how many sinus infections I've had since I fucking left there over 2 years ago? 0. You know what I mean? So, I mean, everything's, that's just, neither here nor there, but that just gives you an idea of, did I really need that insurance? You know what I mean? Or I just need to be healthy and take care of myself, you know, on the way through.
You feel like you were caught in a cycle?
I was an extreme cycle, and we all are, because we're told that you, like your writer friends, you know what I mean? They are strict on that union. They're paying their union dues, but now the AI is taking over. Okay, now is it making your job harder, or you're having less work now? You know, which I don't know. I don't know how that's going to work out for them, because AI is taking everything over. It looks like.
I don't think it's stopping. I feel like I just, you know, all the Facebook pages I follow are crew, like camera crew stuff, and everybody hates AI. I'm the opposing against the grain kind of thought, because I'm like, this is inevitable. And like, you are sitting here complaining when you should be adapting, you know, because you're not going to stop technology. Like, technology's in a Trump, because I realize the world we're moving into we're like moving into the plot of Incredibles, you know, Disney Incredibles, where it's like the guy who's building all this technology, and he's like, because when everyone's super, nobody is. And it's like, we're all like, no, we need those super people, that person, those people who can write, only those people who can make art, only those people who compose a song. But when the AI comes out and we can all do it, people think it's taking away, you know, from the aspect of being super. And I don't know if I feel the same way. I'm kind of like jumping on the villain side a little bit. It's like I think having the ability to be creative and express yourself it's a good thing. Like, if someone can create an art piece that they wanted and they have a visual, because we all have what is art? An expression of one's, like, self-expression, translated into like a medium of sorts. I think everybody has art inside them. You know, we all have something to express. So if it's easier for everyone to create art, I think that's not a problem. It's just how we can't make money off it anymore. That's the problem. Yeah. And it's like, I don't know. I feel like it's a little greedy. But honestly, I guess the money's getting thrown over to the AI people instead. The dark path about AI, though, or just, you know, now it's thinking for us, and now it's, you know, ruling society for us. It's like, that's when it's starting. Well, does it do it better? I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. How do you feel about that?
I don't know. I think it's
bad.
I think it's probably bad. I mean, because, just with all the programming and stuff now, even my son, he can download an app, call me from somebody's number, and it says that number, but it's not that person.
Call me from somebody's number?
So it goes off on my phone. It comes up as a contact that I have.
But it's him calling you.
It's him calling me.
It's like a prank app?
Yeah, it's a prank app. But it goes into my phone and pulls a contact out. So it doesn't show. So it doesn't show his number.
Choose, like, grab a contact like this.
It just pulls it up, I guess.
Whoa.
You know, out of your phone, out of your contact, because he's dialed my number on it, and he's been in the back seat, and I'm like, what the fuck?
That must be like that trending. You know, you get someone's voice downloaded and they call like and scam people like, "Mom, please, I need money. They're stealing me." And then it's like all AI.
Yeah.
That's probably, they're probably doing that. I get scam calls from 208 numbers all the time. And I'm like, I should probably pick this up. It could be like a client or something. And I answer and it's
somebody stupid.
"Hello, this is Google. You're not listed in Google ad listing. I am John from Texas." And I'm like, what the fuck? Okay, John. What's up, Riley? You are acting Jamie. for this? Can you pull that up? Does it still say recording right there? Okay, I've been thinking about that this whole time. Like, I sure hope that fucking thing says recording. Every time I start this thing, I like, we start flowing, and I'm like, did I hit? Like, I sure hope I hit record because I can't see the screen.
Oh shit!
And so I'm just like double thinking in my head, like, fuck, I don't remember. But I always did hit record. So, yeah, what all you guys got planned today, huh?
Nothing. This
Chilling?
was it. Yeah.
Recovering.
Yeah.
You guys working out every day, huh?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
You guys did leg day today. A short
I
one.
started, yeah, but
More leg extension.
yeah.
You guys got some leg extensions in. Yeah, you and Riley have been the workout duo right here, right?
Yeah.
Or have you been taking Skylar too?
Yeah, Skylar goes, but he does his own thing.
Yeah, Skylar's such a little bodybuilding fan. It's so funny. It's because he's getting into that age where he's just like, you gotta look good. Dude, I feel like Skylar's getting into that. He's entering that knockout power era. You know
Oh yeah,
I mean?
he's getting real strong.
Like,
Real
he's
strong. Both
big.
of them are. They're both strong. But Skylar's actually, he's turning his boxing into, into him now versus, you know what I mean? That's the style we teach, you know what I mean? We'll teach you how to do this, but you form your own style, you know what I mean? But if you watch our gym fight, which, one of my friends, he posted on our page, you know what I mean? I love watching your gym fight because everyone is the same but different. You know what I mean? It's weird. You can tell our style, but every one of them's not, picture perfect. The
It's not
same
cookie cutter.
Yeah, it's not cookie cutter.
Still custom.
Yeah.
Yeah, Skylar, I was watching him spar, and I went and asked him, I was like, because I know you guys teach when I first came, because I had come from a Muay Thai school previously. And, Muay Thai, they stand so up tall with their legs in front so they can lift those legs to block knee kicks and shit.
Yeah.
And I just remember that was the first, major critique I would always get from you when I came to the boxing gym was like, come on, bend your legs, like squat down more, bend, get that power. And it's the movement of your upper body too is way better when you're squatted down.
Oh, yeah.
You can slip and dodge and pull back and stuff and miss punches. But I was watching Skylar, so I always think of that. I'm always thinking of that. I'm like, come on, bend, keep your shit bent. Whenever I'm like drilling on the bags, I try to think bend. And then I was watching Skylar spar, and he was standing a little bit upright more because and I asked him about it. I said, because I know he knows. I mean, he's been drilling this shit for how long now? And he's like, oh yeah, no, being bent is better, but I like to be at the level of the person I'm fighting. So if it's a taller guy, I like to get up with them a little more because I don't like to be below them. How do you feel about that?
It works for him. You know what I mean? He went through the phase of not pulling his hands back, slipping with his hands down. But he is, as long as he's bringing his hands back high and still using the same movement, which he's been working on. So it's been getting better. But the standing straight up, it makes you off balance. You know what I mean? You'll roll back on your heels more.
And I think the thing is, he probably did that because he was so comfortable with his opponent.
Yeah. Because
he was so confident. I just remember looking at him while he was sparring with that guy. I forgot who he was up with. But he just looked so comfortable in that pocket.
Yeah.
Like he just go in there and he's like, it's like he's looking at things and thinking about it and not because I know, I mean, when I would go in and spar a lot, I mean, I'm still not comfortable in there, I mean, I've sparred with guys that I can feel. You're like, dude, you fucking live in here. Like I can tell this is like us walking down the sidewalk, talking. You know what I mean? For me, I'm sitting here like, fuck, oh, keep my hands up. Oh, fuck. Dude, oh shit. All right, breathe. All right, what should I do next? What do I do next? Thinking too much. And I could see it on Skylar. It just seems like, that confidence, he just fucking has been there so many times at this point that it just looks like it's just normal life.
Oh yeah.
I live here. This is what I do. Yeah, I'm so excited to see these two little studs just grow up. It's cool. I mean, how old was Skylar's how old now?
He's 14.
14, and we did the film in 2020. Yeah. So that's 3 years. So he was like 11. And Riley, how old are you now? I'm 11. Oh, so this is how old Skylar was when we were filming that short film. Yeah. Wow, that's pretty crazy because I still look at Riley like he's like a little baby or something, dude. 11, dude, because Skylar seemed still so much bigger than Riley back then.
Yeah.
But damn, he's the size Riley is now. during that film. Yeah, because it wasn't until I was recording and I was walking backwards and they were doing their shadow boxing down the mats. Remember that, Riley, when I was following you guys up and down? And that's what I was looking at Sky. I shot Kendra, I shot Riley, and I went and got Skylar, and I was following him, and I was like, damn, this guy takes a lot more of my screen space than he did before. I feel like he's like taller and shit. It's cool. Yeah, and I mean, so I have a question for you, actually. Did your dad box? You were the first to start up your family?
My grandfather did.
Your grandfather boxed. Was he like mustache? Like this type of boxing?
Yeah, he boxed in the 30s in high school in Idaho. And then he boxed during World War II in the Navy.
What?
He was, God, I have some old newspaper clippings I'll have to pull out. But he had like 111 amateur fights. And then I think he had 18 pro fights.
Wow.
You can still find him on BoxRec. I think they have like maybe 6 of his bouts recorded on BoxRec from like the 1940s.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow. That is so cool. Oh, dude, we're going to have to talk about that. So this is the whole thing with me. As we're approaching, entering into this next film, I'm like, yeah, I got to make it better. Like I look back, I loved you guys and doing the documentary with you guys is so fun. But my own work, I just like, damn, I can do it better. I can do it better. I always think that. And I'm like, I want to do more storytelling with like some interviews driven. And I want to dive into the past a little bit and learn about who you are more into this one. I want to interview friends and like family, people who are close that we could talk about you. And I kind of want to dabble in like animation. I feel like I want to get, like, I know you have some crazy, super crazy fucking stories that I'm like, we got to dive into that. And I'm like, I don't want to tell that story and do some like reenactment because it feels like a cheesy, like History Channel thing or something. You know what I mean? I want it to be like an art film. And I feel like animation, I see that as a really key piece in really big documentaries. They'll switch to animation where it's like some cartoon of their flashback.
Yeah.
And I think that would be a super cool way to try to do it with your guys' story.
That would be cool.
That would be sick. I think it would add that next level, of creativity to it. And then I just, we got to just add something more. Like this is what I'm always thinking. But also understanding what is our story coming up? Like what shoots do we have to be ready to capture? And every time I come and talk to you, I'm just like, it's always a little bit overwhelming because you're the amount of shit that is on the top that is like just like running through your head. Like I feel like you got things going through your mind all the time. You're thinking a lot, and so then I'm like, it's just like probably this podcast. Like we'll start on a topic, and then I'll be like at the end of our talk, I'll be like, "Fuck, what's he gonna ask?" Like I came over, walked up to him at the gym to ask him something, but yeah, so what's going on with Kendra? What's the next step? I just remember you guys were kind of going through some of those hurdles.
We going through some stuff with USA Boxing. They've been changing rules at will since they said 2017. You could pull up all their documents, what they've been doing, and what they've taken out, what my gym is considered is like a grassroots gym. You know what I mean? It's like all the gyms across the nation. We're grassroots. We teach from, off the street to elite level. And our LBCs, our local boxing commissions, we all run our separate things. And there's it's kind of like government. You know what I mean? Like what we're going through now. We all didn't vote to shut a pipeline down or shit like that, So then that cost us extra money for gas, you know what I mean? Which didn't make fucking sense. So you're out a bunch of jobs, you're out, you know what I mean? So it's government working on its own. Okay. USA Boxing kind of went off on a tangent of working on their own. They've taken away the rights of like the grassroots communities. You know what I mean? And they kind of put a separation in themselves to where, well, we're USA Boxing and this is us. And you guys are grassroots. when in all reality, we're all USA Boxing. Anybody who belongs to USA Boxing, you know, that's what we sign up for. So we're all members of that, right? But you have a certain few, and they're writing it on their even all their documents now, that we have the right, USA Boxing reserves the right to change as we see fit whenever we see fit, basically. And that's, I mean, written down. That's not word for word, but that's, you know, the words that are in there.
Yeah, it's a dictatorship.
So they're changing the rules without notifying anyone else. You know, I'll give you 2020 Olympic trials. Okay. It was after the documentary. I think it was after the documentary, right? Or no, it was before. It was 2019. We were in Louisiana.
Yeah.
Okay. That's the 2020 Olympic trials. COVID hit right after. But Kendra was fighting at 165. The Olympic trials at that time, and at that time prior to that, and any times prior to that, they were double elimination. Okay. The 8 top boxers in each weight class. Okay. For male and female. So now for these 2024 Olympic trials, USA Boxing has put into place, and they just had it passed last month or a month and a half ago, but they put it into play in November of last year without telling anyone. Okay. So now Kendra won the national championships in December. Okay. That makes her number 1 in the nation, correct? Anyone that won at nationals should be number 1 in the nation. That's the USA Boxing Nationals.
Yeah.
So, and that's in December every year. So if you win that, you're considered number 1. Okay, not this year. Okay, so that was in December. USA Boxing put these rules in November. They hadn't been passed yet. Okay, up until a month and a half ago. It's kind of, stay with me on this.
I'm following.
Okay. So she wins in December. Okay, number 1, you're on the team. Okay, no. Guess what? The number 1 from 2021, okay, was a different girl, Talisha something, Milligan or something like that. Okay. She fought, or she had a walkover. Okay. The girl that was on the team, Naomi Graham, okay, missed weight. Now, she was the national champion and she was on the team prior to that year. Okay. So this is in the year before. Okay. So Tanisha Milligan won by walkover. She didn't win by beating her, but Naomi couldn't make, Naomi couldn't make weight. So this girl's national champion. So they go to an evaluation camp. Okay, they took Naomi and Tanisha
in 2021.
In 2021. Now they have all these other people there going there too. Okay, now I didn't know about this because we hadn't won the national championship that year. Okay, Kendra was fighting in a different weight class anyway. And so Naomi was picked to be on the team again. She went to an evaluation camp at the U.S. Olympic Training Center. Okay, but that's fine. I didn't know about it. Nobody knew about it.
Okay.
So this rule was made up that the team member now Naomi fought in this national championship in 2021, right?
Yep. Got to buy.
Okay, and no, she lost. Okay.
Oh yeah.
So, but she's on the team because she went to an evaluation camp. So she went to an evaluation camp and beat out this Tanisha Milligan. This is just our story. There's every boxer involved in USA Boxing right now is going through this, but a lot of coaches don't know about it. So now they've done this. Okay. So Naomi's on the team. So the next year, 2022, when Kendra won nationals, Naomi didn't have to go compete. Okay. So in every other sports culture, wrestling, tennis, whatever, you have to keep playing to win. And then you're considered the number 1, right?
Yeah. Defend your spot.
Defend your spot. Okay. Not with USA Boxing. So now this team member from the year before doesn't have to fight at any of these national tournaments. Okay. So now Fast forward to 2022, Lubbock, Texas, Kendra beats everybody by a fucking landslide, beats the fuck out of them. You know what I mean? Had one girl crying in the fucking ring. You know what I mean? And Kendra's only been doing this for 6.5 years at that time, okay, which is unheard of. Okay, she's been the top 3 since she started in every weight class that she competed in. So she goes to an evaluation camp. Again, now she's evaluated against the team member that's been on the team for 7 years. Okay, she went to the last Olympics, didn't win shit. Okay, she's had issues with weight, all this fucking shit. So we go to camp and it's biased as fuck. Okay, Kendra gets there and she's not some little girl. You know what I mean? It's, needs a pat on the butt every time and, good game and da-da-da-da. She's there to work.
She's a warrior.
Okay, but and everyone else who won, okay, was now the number 2 to these team members. So they're evaluated by 3 coaches, okay, and another couple other coaches. And they have unqualified coaches in there. Now this is supposed to be on the team, okay? Mm-hmm. And we call them out on this bias shit with USOPC.
So do they transfer over the years? If you've won once in 2021, you can be on the team and you just transfer. You're on the team every year.
Well, yeah, because they changed it.
For how long do you get to just stay on the team?
They can change the rules whenever they want.
As of right now?
As of right now.
How long can they be on the team without competing?
Oh, they're competing, but they don't have to compete nationally. They're taking them internationally. Like they just took Naomi internationally. Yeah. Okay.
But for their spot on the national competition, because that's where you draw your talent from. Yeah. How long can they just get a free spot on the team? Like as of right now, how long can they ride on that team without ever having to prove themselves in nationals again?
Well, you're being evaluated. You're not even being evaluated on your boxing skill. You're being evaluated by some coaches that have spent time with you for the last 8 years or 7 years.
So indefinitely. So they're there forever, as long as they want them.
Or if they break rules. Now, I have to commend these guys on because we brought attention to this and there was extreme bias. You know what I mean? If my wife says there was a fucking problem, there's a problem because she's one of the most easygoing. If I have to fucking climb over that hill to make it work, I will. You know what I mean? If I have to go over this next hill, I will. Yeah. I don't want any fucking confrontations. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'll do whatever I have to do.
She's not a Karen.
No,
she's not a Karen.
She's whatever she has to do to make it work.
She's a hard worker. She's not a complainer.
You know what I mean?
So if she's complaining, it says something.
Yeah, it says something. You know what I mean? So I mean, we brought our complaints forward with these guys, and some stuff has changed, but it still hasn't changed completely. Okay, now fast forward to now. They've had their bullshit okayed by the USOPC because nobody's fucking questioned it but me and a few others, okay? So now the Olympic trials is now a 16-person single elimination, just like any other national tournament. So when all these people compete, all the team members from this year don't have to go compete at the Olympic trials. Why in the fuck wouldn't you want the supposed team members that are the best in the nation to compete at the Olympic trials against the other tops in the nation to find out who is really the best over a week long, to where you have to fucking make weight. You're judged on your skill level, your determination, and just your boxing presence versus, I like you better because you got the newer Nikes, or, I can bullshit with you and talk about my dick while we're here.
That's probably it right there. It's probably their friendships that they bonded with. And they're like, oh, well, you're my friend. Don't worry. I got your back. You're not going anywhere.
And we've had people step forward with, like I said, we have evidence for days on the bias of the way that stuff was ran.
You've showed me some of the videos.
Yeah, and it's not the good old boy system. You know what I mean? Boxing, when I first started coaching, was if you were number one in the fucking nation, you were number one in the nation. Not fucking, oh, you're number two and I'm going to evaluate you with, and I mean, you've seen the videos where they had a guy refereeing who was a coach. Okay. He was able to go out
Oh my God. Yeah.
and the dude was fucking horrible. I looked him up. I ran checks on him and he's not, they told me, oh, he was a qualified individual. Fuck you. He was qualified. He fucking he's never been a ref, never been a judge, but you're in there giving 8 counts.
Yeah. Is that the one I'm thinking about?
He's fucking absolutely retarded.
The one who was doing Kendra Singh?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I know. There truly is. That video is atrocious.
On a punch count of fucking 3 to 6 to 1. Okay, it's not a pro fight. You didn't land that fucking one hard shot in the last 10 seconds of the fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, it's okay because you did so well. And, fuck that. No, put us under the scrutiny of let us be judged by our peers. You know what I mean? And judged on the skill level of boxing. And can you fucking make weight every day?
This seems to be like a common, I feel like everybody in the martial arts world seems to be at a consensus that boxing, out of all the martial arts programs, has like the most corruption. Like there's like people who in that industry that are like picking people so they can get their boxers to be 0 undefeated and build their record. So they're just like strategizing that, but then they're also just, a favoritism kind of thing. And if you're within the group, if you're in the group, you're good. If you're not within the group, tough fucking luck.
Yeah. Well, we've had it's been a struggle because we're from Idaho. When have you ever heard of Idaho as a mecca for fucking boxing? You know what I mean?
Just potatoes.
Exactly. You know what I mean? But we've fought over that. They know who we are, and we're doing much better. For instance, my gym and my friend J.R. Mendoza, his daughter's on the team now, along with Kendra. Kendra, so she had an evaluation. To get back to that, she did an evaluation for the camp. Okay, and her person she's going against was never on weight. Now, and that shows the bias all the way through. We have evidence of all of that too. You know what I mean?
She's what, 16 pounds, 12 pounds?
Fucking 20 pounds over.
20 pounds
20
over.
pounds over. The lightest she weighed was 179.8.
That's insane.
Fully fucking hydrated. Now you have a weight check every fucking day and you have a hydration test. So she wasn't even trying to cut weight. She was just trying to fucking stay healthy enough to keep up. You know what I mean? So that's not a fair around the top. Well, everyone else has to follow these rules, but like I'm saying, the rules, they change them whenever they want. They were changing it, and we have evidence of all that too. They were changing it every fucking week. Every time they had to weigh in, we're giving you till next week to get it. Okay, well, if she's missing all that shit, then points should be taken away. Now, my wife Kendra scored 10 on everything across the board except international competition. Okay, well, she's never been internationally. And I asked the question, how do you score on that when she's never been in? Well, she's just not doing what we're teaching. She's not implementing it yet. Okay, well, guess what? She came home after this. She was ready to fucking quit boxing. She was ready to quit. She'd never, she's the hardest working person there is that I've ever trained. And now, at camp now, the last 2 camps she's been to, they even said it, you're the hardest working person ever that we've ever trained, that I've seen come through this, from the youth to the elite. And they're seeing it. I have nothing against the coaches. You know what I mean? The coaches, they've stepped it up, they've done their thing, and they're coaching. It's the politics of it that I have an issue with. It's the fairness of being fair across the board. Again, it's back to that bully shit. You'll do what the fuck I tell you to do, and then, or you don't have to be involved in it. Well, if it's somebody's life, you know what I mean, that you've dedicated fucking day in and day out for 7 years, and you tell them that they're a fucking C fighter or a D fighter when you're the number 1 in the fucking country? How is that possible? How do you tell somebody that just beat everybody, that beats everybody across the fucking board? She's got 56 fights and 12 losses. You know what I mean? And where she's lost at is national tournaments to fucking national champions. Okay. Throughout the years. She hasn't lost to fucking slouches.
Yeah. And I mean, she's got a very young amount of time in
Yeah.
boxing, 6 years.
But look what, so fast forward to now. So she came home. We talked and we worked through it. You know what I mean? And I helped her get through everything. And now her head's on right. Everything's positive. You know what I mean? But she went back to camp and we worked on everything she had to work on. And guess what? They said, oh my God, she scored higher than some of the people scored the first time, even on international capability. So
what was the difference?
2 months.
What did she do different though?
We just trained and did what they wanted. But we didn't know what they wanted prior to that.
What were the things they wanted?
Just different check hooks, different feinting, more of an international flavor, they call it. You know what I mean?
International flavor.
Yeah.
The way
it's more international.
counters, huh?
International boxing is what they're calling it, which that's fine. But if we knew, you know what I mean? This is one of the problems, and I presented it to these guys. I said, you know, this is where USA Boxing has separated itself. I said, if we would have had phone call prior or a Zoom call, whatever the fuck, to the coaches that are sending you their athletes. You know, I'm a good enough coach to get my athlete to that level. Okay. But what you're teaching, if I don't know what you're teaching and what you want, how am I going to coach them on that? Okay. I had a phone call after the fact, you know what I mean? And you know, I got a bunch of bullshit. Oh yeah, she's the best in the nation. We got to keep her ready, blah, 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 blah. But then they invite the number 3 girl that Kendra beat the fuck out of. Okay. And she freaking got beat up at camp, got told all kinds of stupid shit. Okay. You're garbage, blah, blah, whatever. Sent her home. Okay. So then they called Kendra back for a reevaluation. That's what I'm talking about now. So she competed against another girl that won nationals. You know, I'm not taking anything away from that girl. She won nationals in March. Well, guess what? Kendra beat the fuck out of her. And out fucking worked her, outperformed her, and scored fucking, I think a 72 or 77 on what they needed now, okay, which was above a lot of the people that made the team the first evaluation. So if you would have given somebody a chance, is what I'm saying.
Is this a month ago?
Yeah.
This is what she just came back from the Olympic Training Center?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You know, and I want to commend, you know, USA Boxing. I'm not trying to fucking, you know, talk shit about you, whatever, you know, that they have made changes, but there's still changes to be made because every person that thinks if they win the Olympic trials, guess what? You're not on the fucking Olympic team. You get to go to an evaluation and you're going to be judged by 3 versus judged by 5 on a platform to where it's unbiased. You know what I mean? We can't see what they're doing at the training center. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's very private. It's just they're doing what they want to do.
What they want to do, and they've changed it to where it's money driven, which everything is always money driven. You know, so now instead of only 8 boxers that we're bringing, now we're going to bring 16. So with those 16 boxers, do 4 people with every boxer at least. You know what I mean? For family, friends wanting to go see these events. So then that's more revenue for USA Boxing. So instead of 3 or 4 national tournaments a year, now we've got 5 plus Golden Gloves. But you've given all these people false hope of being a national champion or an Olympic trials winner.
Does it feel like to you like it's just kind of a money move?
Oh yeah,
money greed.
It is.
Hey Riley, could you turn that AC on? You turn the AC on. It's so fucking hot in here.
I know.
I'm like fucking sweating. So did something just happen
Something
to my
just
audio?
beeped. Yeah,
To the audio? One sec.
I can hear you.
Do you hear everything all
Yeah.
right? I don't know.
I can hear you.
Yeah, check that. Oh, I'm good. I just had to unplug and plug in. Okay, I'm good. Yeah, I think people hearing this, it's not you attacking USA Boxing. It's you defending all your guys' hard work and making your dream come true. It's you're on the defense because
defending everybody.
Yeah.
It doesn't just involve my boxer or my boxers. This involves like Riley coming up, Skyler, you know what I mean? He's 14 years old now. He was 3rd in the nation last year. He's 10th in the nation right now on a weight class, which I showed you that video where he gave a kid fucking 2 8 counts.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Yeah,
That's too big of a common thing where you show me these fucked up videos where it's just like, I'm like, oh, nice. He's whooping his ass. He's whooping his ass. What?
It's not me just bitching.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, everyone goes through that. You know, when I was young in the coaching game, I used to fucking blame it on this or blame it on that. There's no blaming it. You know what I mean? Okay, it happened. Here's what we have on video. You make your decision. What do you think happened? You know what I mean? I could say it all day. You know what I mean? I'll even tell my boxers on these last fights we had, we got best team award. Okay. Well, literally, I told my fighters, 2 of them, I said, you guys fucking lost. I don't know what the fuck you're doing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and they won. You know what I mean? But I saw a performance that I didn't like. You know what I mean? I'm not going to say that my boxers deserve to win all the time. You know what I mean? Because every fucking, it only takes one punch in a fight and it's over. You know what I mean? Did you, and that's what I was talking about, that rage. You know what I mean? Did you do everything you could? Did you listen to my coaching from the corner? Did you execute everything we talked about and everything we worked on? You know, did you do that? You know what I mean? That's what I put forth with all, you know, fuck you. I'm not going to fucking tell you did fucking amazing. You're lucky you fucking won. You know what I mean? You didn't listen to me. You're lucky you fucking won. You know, but when they win, hey, yeah, you won. Okay, now let's go work on what the fuck you did wrong. You know what I mean? Whenever we're at nationals, you know, we're like, oh, you know, we're going to go eat. We won. And I'm going to try and make weight. No, we're going to go. Kendra and I, the boys, we go fix. And you've been there with us. We go fix whatever we need to fix for the next fucking day. You know what I mean? The work's not done. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You guys live in the gym. Literally, like all the time. We're always going to the gym. At nationals, there's like, you know, Airbnb, the competition, gym. Those are like the only stops.
We've been all over the nation, and I couldn't tell you what anything looked like.
Yeah, you guys. But yeah, I was gonna comment on that. I just remember at the end of that, in the end of the film in 2019, we were in Louisiana. So at the end of that, when she got second place in the final championship match, she was so emotional. You know, it's always hard losing, especially when you put so much passion into it. I mean, there's so much on the line for you, for how much work you put in, and she cares. You know, she wants to be victorious. She wants her hand raised, and I gotta say, I feel like there's a different aura on Kendra now than being around her back then, and it's hard to put it. I was talking to my friend about this. It's hard to put it into terms because it's not like aggression. It's not this like. It's not like she's mean. She's not mean. She's a sweetheart, and it's not like she's like radiating this aggression, but you just feel like this confidence, I think, or like
determination.
Yeah, there's like a different aura coming off of her. Like I feel like like her power level has shot up or something. She seems more vicious. Like I feel like she'll be more vicious.
And at that time, she was fighting a lot of demons. You know what I mean?
At what time?
Back at that time too, she was fighting weight. You know what I mean? She was she had an eating disorder.
Oh yeah.
And hold on.
You lost it?
No, I didn't lose it. I was about ready to cry.
Oh, I thought that's what it was. The hold on threw me off. I was like,
So she had an eating disorder. She went through a lot of shit. She went through diet after diet. I mean, we got certified through Lockhart and Labor Nutrition, which is they're absolutely amazing what they do with everything in their aspect of, you know, cutting weight and keeping weight off as a natural thing versus it's a fucking diet. But she went through all kinds of head issues, you know what I mean? Because, I mean, she was literally the only person that I've ever knew in my fucking life that would go to bed at a certain weight and wake up 5 pounds heavier. But she was getting up in the middle of the night and eating. You know what I mean? She would starve herself all fucking day. Not starve. She was eating, you know, enough, but not enough. You know what I mean? And I think the eating disorder comes from her childhood too. You know what I mean? She said her mom did the same thing, and you know, but it's it was rough. You know what I mean? Because at one point we were in the smaller gym before we moved to the bigger facility, and we were getting ready for nationals. She was on a fucking. I think it was a vegan diet then. I had to go through all these fucking diets too.
So when she was on a diet, you were on a diet.
Oh yeah, I was fucked up too. So I had a eating disorder too.
Y'all were vegan. What the fuck?
So fucking it was all vegan. We went through the fucking carnivore diet. We went through all of it. And now we're back to normal fucking habits, normal eating. You know what I mean? Portioning it out. Not fucking weighing or micromanaging it, but you know what I mean? Eating so you're healthy.
And how do you determine that? Because normal eating, people can take that different ways.
Well, I mean, we're not eating processed foods. Processed foods are the fucking killer, man. McDonald's, Burger King, Taco Bell. I mean, anything where you're fucking eating something that somebody else made. They're not using the top ingredients. We eat grass-fed stuff. You know, we eat fucking, organic, not organic chicken, but you know what I mean, whatever the Costco chicken is, you know what I mean, stuff like that.
It's more whole, paleo-esque.
Yeah, more whole foods versus going to McDonald's. Because I know you fucking had the same feelings. You know, you go middle of the night, you know, I mean, I used to play video games and fucking drink a bottle of Gentleman Jack a night. You know what I mean? And I would go eat fucking 2 huge Roberto's burritos with a fucking chicken quesadilla and then be fucking hungry 2 hours later. You know what I mean? Because all that shit's everything they cook it in. You know, it's just processed, and I think it's meant to fucking bring you back. You know what I mean? Oh, you're hungry again? Come back. You know what I mean? But she was going through the eating disorder, and that lasted a couple years. I mean, she started out. She was heavy when we first met. She was already on a weight loss journey, and then that's when she started boxing. You know, was for some weight loss, and she absolutely fucking hated it.
Yeah, that's before you guys were like officially like, a thing, right?
Yeah,
That's when you guys are just flirty.
Yeah, and then she lost a bunch of weight. She was fighting at she was weighing about like 150, 151. And she was fighting at 152, and then she started putting on more muscle, and then we went through the eating disorder stuff. And literally she was boxing at 165 and, but she would blow up. I mean, at one time, you know, close to 190,
Whoa.
you know, and she was going through that vegan shit, and we're at the gym and we're working mitts and we're getting ready for nationals. And she's in a fucking sauna suit, which I absolutely fucking hate them. You know what I mean? If you can't, with my boxers, I try to have you, if you're having problems with your weight, we'll adjust some, different stuff with you. Mm-hmm. But I won't have my people wear sauna suits or fucking sweatsuits. It takes away from your training.
Just dehydrates you.
Yeah, and you're worried about your hot fucking, you're just miserable. It's not a fucking good experience. So the weight you're at is what you fight at. Within 3 or 4 pounds, we can deal with that. 5 pounds, 10 pounds even, The closer we get, we just break it down, A little less salt or whatever, no processed foods. But we're in the ring working mitts, and she fucking lasted about 10 seconds, maybe 20 seconds. And she had to take a break. And, her nickname's the Storm because she used to overwhelm people with punches. You know what I mean? Just at this nationals, I counted the punches. And out of 540 seconds, she threw 468 punches.
Holy.
You know what I mean? So just think of the fucking output. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now that she's healthy again, But before that, at this time, I flipped out. I said, you know what? We're going to keep doing this, we're not doing it like this. We're not fucking, I'm done. We won't fucking compete. We'll shut the fucking gym down. I'm done. I'm not going to watch you fucking, kill yourself like this. It's kind of come to Jesus kind of thing. You know what I mean? Fucking, we're either going to fix it or fuck it, we're done. I don't give a fuck. I'm not going to watch you do this. You're fucking destroying yourself.
You're a sweet guy, dude. You give me chills. I just know it gives me chills because I know your guys' relationship a little more. I just know how much love is there, and it's so funny. You two are like I'll say you two were opposites, like so yin and yang. You know what I mean? You were this hardcore, you know, I dare say thuggish, just a hardcore dude. Like you've been from definitely from the bottom. I would say. Would you agree with that? It's just from the stories I heard at nationals and stuff. It sounds like,
yeah. I've yeah.
You got some crazy backstory, dude.
Oh, yeah.
And then there's sweet little dandelion Kendra, just like this little, like, she just has this like Mormon-esque girl vibe about her in those old pictures. Just so sweet. So like a little chubby girl, like doesn't look dangerous at all. And then there's hardcore Jason. And then you guys clicked and merged each other's worlds a little bit. And I don't know if you were a sweetheart back when you were a hardcore dude, but I think she's turned you into a bit of a sweetheart and you've turned her into a bit of a hardcore woman. Like you guys meshed and kind of merged together into this like balanced people. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
It's so interesting. Yeah. Cause Kendra, it's so funny. She does not look anything like this remotely close to the same person she used to be. Obviously she is that person, like her soul, but just like if you just had to judge off appearance, you'd be like, you look at Kendra now. Also, Kendra now, she's jacked.
Yeah.
How'd she get? She got jacked, dude.
Yeah.
So what the hell? Like, so you guys eating? You're not like monitoring. What do you guys avoid carbs or anything?
No.
Like you just work. Well, you guys work out all the time. I mean, Kendra was like at the gym. She was like, oh yeah, I was feeling sick. Like I got like sinus infection. This like maybe a week ago, right? Mm-hmm. And so when she came back from the Olympic Training Center, she got like a flu.
Yeah.
And her rest day is she took the morning off.
Yeah, I know.
I'm like, what the fuck? That's not normal. Like normal people, they're sick. I'm taking the day off.
Yeah.
But she does not.
Or 2 days off or 3 days
day
off.
off is hardcore. Like, oh yeah, you deserve it. If you're going back at it day 2, like you're a hardcore dude.
Yeah.
Kendra's like, I can't just, I have to be here working like somehow, even if it's very soft because I'm sick or something. Like she has to be putting that work in. It's exactly what you said about everybody saying, she works so damn hard. She's so, I can't even imagine it. It makes me have, I get like feelings in my chest when I think about those moments you guys must have had with her, and I can't even fathom her being like, I'm going to quit boxing because it's so like, it's what you guys fucking do. You know what I mean?
It was, I guess, heartbreaking.
Yeah. I'm sure. That's your guys' fucking.
What's even worse, it was how it made her feel, and then it made me want to fight more. You know what I mean?
Do you think that, like, what year was when those feelings arose? When she was like, "I'm done." It was 2021.
No, it was this year.
That was this year?
Yeah, it was January after evaluation camp.
What?
Yeah.
That is. And then when did I hit you up about doing a film? March?
Yeah, March, April.
March or April. Yeah. That is funny how things.
Yeah.
Kind of
no, she fucking she literally she she came back from camp. We had to get ready for Golden Gloves. She had to cut weight. She didn't even want to cut the weight. She was going to drop down to 154. Because if you qualify at 165, you can't fight at 165 in any national tournaments, which I find that to be horseshit because how can you keep busy, especially as a female boxer? There's nobody out there that wants to fight, and there's nobody out there that wants to take fights with Kendra. You know what I mean? I can't even get girls to come fucking spar with her.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
This. Yeah,
we've offered to pay people. Fucking, we've gone and sparred pros, and we fucking spar men. But it's hard because if it's not somebody in your gym that how they work, you don't want to put your boxer in danger of getting hurt. You know what I mean? Somebody's ego got fucking hurt. You got hit with a hard shot, then you come back with an extra hard shot. She's still a female. You know what I mean? Versus male.
And it's funny, dude, because I look at Kendra, all she spars with is with dudes.
Yeah.
She fights the men.
Yeah.
That's who she trains with.
Yeah.
It's so cool. I fucking love it. Like, it pumps me up, dude. I see her out there and she's fucking working men. I'm like, God damn, dude. That's an impressive woman.
Oh, yeah.
What a warrior, dude. It's just like, You're like the fucking Master Roshi, dude, the sensei, the fucking like led her.
Well, when we were first training in the garage at the house, we're sparring, and this is kind of a wake up call for me. You know, I was showing her how to switch, come behind, where to hit, and yeah, she fucking was working me. I mean, beating the fuck out of me. She fucking hit me back of the fucking right on the ear and rung my bell. I fucking got mad, fucking trying to move. My shoe came off. I tripped. I was fucking pissed because she kept hitting me right in the same fucking spot. I fucking threw my gloves off. I was like, what the fuck? She's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Don't be sorry. I'm being a bitch. You know what I mean? You're doing what I showed you how to do, how I taught you it. I'm just being a bitch, but I'm getting fucked up. You know what I mean? And this was, you know, it was pretty funny. I mean, it wasn't funny at that time, but
it's not funny when it's hitting you in the head.
Oh yeah.
Looking back. Dude, so we were in Louisiana at Nationals when you lent me your book, Book of Five Rings, and you turned me into a super Musashi nerd. I like Musashi nerded out after that. Because, I read that whole book while I was there because I wanted to finish it before we had to head back to Idaho. And, that book was fucking awesome. And I found Musashi by Eiji Yoshikawa, which you should fucking read that book. That book is fun. But it just reminded me so much of Kendra because looking back at who she used to be and then looking at who she is now, I had said this quote before I posted it up on Instagram, and it was that, you know, it's like the David Goggins-esque mentality that everyone wants to act like you're special, but it's just because they don't want to put that work in. You know, they want to have an excuse of why they can't be where you're at. And it's like Kendra, I think, she wasn't even an athlete in high school. Like, she didn't even do sports, right?
No, I think she played volleyball in like
she did
junior
volleyball?
high. Yeah.
Oh, in junior high.
Yeah.
Come on. You know what I mean? Now she's freaking trying to get in the Olympics. Like, what the fuck? Like, that's a very far journey. And it's so funny because this part in that Musashi book where it's like, the thing that makes Musashi great is that he is ordinary. He's an ordinary person, but he has just devoted so much to his craft that he has become, you know,
extraordinary.
Extraordinary. Yeah. And it's just, that's exactly, I feel like the story of like Kendra, because I want to be like, I look at her and I think, is you know what, like just the raw talent. I don't know if there's like if you could look at the beginning and be like, wow, you were born for boxing. It seems like she just molded and chipped away at her statue until she became the person.
No, she's had to work and work and work, and it's still working. You know what I mean? And going back to the training center and stuff, I mean, they have, with the stuff they wanted us to work on, which we worked on it, you know what I mean? And her taking it back and implementing it into our style. And that's what needs to be brought out to these grassroots coaches too, is, you know, okay, you implement this into your style. You know what I mean? Nobody has the perfect style. Nobody has the perfect, you know what I mean? There's no, like you said, cookie cutter. You know what I mean? You got to use everything at your disposal. You know what I mean? But now they've actually given her the chance and explained what they want. Not shown, you know what I mean? It's different because I can tell you what I want and show you, you know what I mean? And I expect you to have it because I've done it for so long. You know what I mean? And that's what a lot of coaches get into. They just expect you to know it. But you don't know it until you're fucking shown it. Yeah. If you can't show me how to do it and it's what it's used for, I guess, you know what I mean? Like how to use it in this situation or that situation or when you can use it. It's different than just telling somebody how to do it. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean, and maybe just in terms of like how people learn.
Yeah.
Because some people, I guess you could explain. And
well, because Kendra, you can't say right hand or left hand. You know, taking directions from her, fucking, we used to get lost all the time. Turn left, and she'd be fucking pointing right. You know what I mean? So, I mean, you have to tell her, you know, and break it down for her.
And my fiance always has to do this.
Yeah, and that's how she learns. But you have to break it down a little bit more. Yeah. And I used to get frustrated, and doing this, it's, I guess coaching, it's actually made me stop and think because, I mean, I was always, when I was being taught, various things, through boxing and martial arts, I'm dyslexic as fuck. You know what I mean? Like if I can read, like when I read a book, I can start in the middle, and I'll read from the bottom up, you know what I mean? Stuff like that.
What? I don't understand.
Like I can grab a book and I'll get bored and it won't really make sense to me if I start from the top and go down. Like I can read from the bottom of that page, read half of it. I don't need to read the rest. I can go to the next page and I fill in the blanks of what
I feel like you're just cheating, dude.
No.
I feel like you're just skimming and you're trying to act like it's a superpower.
No, but I can tell you everything that the book is. That's how I read.
But what if you're wrong about your assumption?
No, it's not really assuming it. I don't know. It's how I read. That's
Context,
just,
like you're super good at just gathering the context of that bottom half that you can build the top half.
I don't even know how to explain it. I mean, because they call it a fucking learning disability now.
It sounds like an ability because the way you put it, it sounds like not a disability.
Because a lot of stuff that and like numbers and stuff like that, my mind will mix them up.
Yeah, that seems like normal dyslexia.
Yeah, but that's how I read too. I'll get bored.
Oh, so you like have to mix your Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'll get bored with like opening a book and just
saying in order. You're kind of a man of chaos. Almost like I feel like just like through you kind of like thrive in the damn chaos and battles and shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like if it's just too organized and too orderly, maybe just like you as a person just gets too damn bored. You're like, I need to fucking throw some fire in here somehow. Just fucking let's speed this baby up. We need, you know what I mean? That's how I feel like, the kind of guy you are. You're always thinking bigger too. I mean, with the gym, like holy shit, oh my God. The first time I stepped into the new gym, it was just like, it's completely transformed.
Yeah.
It is a new facility. It is like the old family boxing gym. I mean, what did the original family boxing gym start out as?
It started in our garage.
You guys had people come to your garage to train?
Yeah.
Like paid clients to come to your garage?
Yeah.
Wow, that's where it started.
Yeah. Well, it started when I started coaching here in Idaho. I started with the Boys and Girls Club. And back in 2003, 2001, I was teaching guys and girls out of, it was called Falls Avenue Fitness. And we were just working in the racquetball courts and stuff like that. And I got with the Boys and Girls Club. Don Hall is fucking amazing, dude. Really good friend of mine. He was the executive director at that time. And then went on to be mayor, and I think he's a county representative now or something like that. Yeah, but he's absolutely amazing, dude. He gave me a chance at the Boys and Girls Club. We were there, and we were known as Southern Idaho Boxing then. And then I taught for CSI some boxing cardio stuff for the college. And about 2009, I think, they had a new guy come in. It was just an absolute douchebag. You know, he brought in a bunch of college kids to play basketball and took our spot away. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And then they actually had some issues over that with these college boys, 20-year-old boys, touching touching girls on a bus trip down to Lagoon. And but that was his claim to fame. He was a real douchebag. But he brought that in instead of boxing and said the boxing was just trouble.
I fucking have heard that, dude. It's like weak people are so against strong people. Like people who learn. A lot of people who are like would be helpless in a fight. They look at learning how to fight as like an atrocity. Yeah, it's so weird. In Portland State, when I was attending there at Portland State University, I asked if they had punching bags in the gym, like if they could get any, or like, are they going to get any? Because there was a big gym.
Yeah.
and they said they didn't want to get any because because there was a kickboxing like class.
It incites violence.
It incites violence. Yeah, they had a kickboxing class. I asked the instructor because I was like, "Oh, you guys are like doing kickboxing, just shadowboxing in the air, really, and partner drills." But I was like, "Have they like got any bags or anything to hit?" And there's like, "No, I tried to get bags, but they denied me because they said it incites violence."
It's kind of like gun laws to me now. I mean, open carry. If everyone was carrying a gun openly, how many these, I think I'm a conspiracy theory from fucking way back because I've lived them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I know it's, you know what I mean? There's a certain bullshit involved in that. You know what I mean? Nobody in their right fucking mind goes out and shoots kids or fucking females. You know what I mean? It's not human fucking mentality, or it's, you know what I mean? That's,
I mean, the people in Nazi Germany, after they were killing kids, they would be throwing up.
yeah.
Shooting Jews and shit. They'd start puking because their body was like, this isn't right.
It's not right. It's not right. You know what I mean? And anybody that thinks it's, that motherfuckers just go out and do that. No, there's other shit behind it. You know what I mean? It's a big, it's a big scam, I think.
I mean, especially for America, 330 million
Yeah.
people. And it's like, you just get 1% of them being crazy, which I think it's more than that. I think we got a lot of fucking crazy. The people who shouldn't be reproducing are the ones that reproduce the most.
Exactly.
We got crazy fuckers that come from broken homes, a lack of foundation and beliefs that we're just kind of, I feel like, honestly, like our country's kind of like just losing grasp. I know a lot of people who, they question their religion and then they go on the deep end of just, once they stop having a foundation of beliefs and morals, they just kind of like crumble and they don't stand for anything and they don't have a value they hold themselves to. And they just think everything lustful to everything is just fucking fine.
Yeah.
And it's just like with that kind of foundation on a country with 330 million, with a lot of people who are just like, they grow up in broken homes. Like, of course you're going to have fucked up, these broken ass, like sociopath kids that are just going to go do some crazy shit. And then they're going to act like the people that are, normal and healthy and have values and stuff are the problem.
Yeah.
It's like, what, dude, it's not the same. And it just feels like a generalizing thing. The same way racism is, the same way all these things are. It's like you look at a whole group of people and act like, oh, the whole group's a problem. Let's rub the whole litters, all the puppies in the fucking pee for one puppy's pee. It's like, come on. The individual case. I'm a very pro-freedom guy, I suppose. I like people to be able to do what they want with their life as long as it doesn't interfere with someone else's.
Well, I mean, literally, you touched on racism. I mean, that's fucking taught, or it's fucking, pushed on somebody. You know what I mean? It's,
Yeah. I mean, it's an ideology.
Yeah, it's an ideology. Literally, if I walk out and, see a white kid, a Mexican kid, a black kid, a Chinese kid playing, I see kids playing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's the same with people walking down the street. But if you're told one of those people is bad or one of those kids is bad, or, you know what I mean? Then you're like, oh, all of them are bad, or, you know what I mean? And that's something that's taught. That's not something I mean, fuck. I mean, when I was a kid, there was racism, yeah, but it wasn't fucking. It was joked about. You know what I mean? Or something was joked about. So people call me a fucking wetback. Okay, fuck, I'm a spick. Whatever. I'm half Mexican, half white. You know what I mean? Okay, or they say wetback or spick. Okay, you're not talking about me. And if you were talking to me, whatever. Fuck it. You know what I mean? It doesn't.
It's the sticks and stones. Remember when we used to always say that shit?
Yeah, but it doesn't fucking bother you. You know what I mean? Now, oh my God, you said that, or da da da, you did that, and remember when you said this? No, I don't. But who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah,
and it's so funny. It's just different. I mean, I think me and you were kind of like, we have different foundation. I think of what it means to be like maybe a man, like being strong. It doesn't even have to be a man in general, but just being a strong human, having discipline, having, a drive and being unable to be like pushed by people that don't matter.
Yeah.
Like you can stay focused on your goal and not be crying and throwing tantrums if someone made you uncomfortable. Like we like to live in uncomfort. You know what I mean? Like let's fucking go. Like this is the life path that we choose. A lot of people, I mean, I went to Portland State, so I got such a firsthand experience on like very woke kind of mentality. And over there, I mean, they would teach us that, you can't be racist if you're white because racism is a systemic thing and the system is catered to benefit white people. Therefore, you cannot be racist to white people. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure racism means you judge people based off their race, not like a whole system thing. It's like if I look at you and say, fuck you, you're a piece of shit, white guy. And I don't even know who you are. I'm just saw you were white and I judged you. That's being racist.
Yeah.
It's like it goes all ways. So being able to see humans, I always get confused about the value of culture because I think culture is great for one. Like, people holding on to the culture of their, the traditions of their, countries. Like we're Mexicans and stuff, we like, carne asada and, fucking like, sorry, Riley distracted me back there. He's being the cameraman.
We grabbed my water.
Hey, Riley, what's it say right here? How long have we been going?
It says 2 hours.
No way. You're full of it. Oh my God, dude, we've been talking for this is going to be the longest one I've ever done. Yeah. Oh, what was I saying?
It's just me fucking rambling.
Yeah, we got a long one. Oh, but oh my God. So I have a female friend. I have a female friend that you just use the sink or there's cold water in the fridge. You can just grab it out of there. I have this female friend and I know she's not going to see this because this is a podcast with two men talking. She's very, very feminist. Like she thinks all men suck. All men, patriarchy, all men. She's very like sexist. I'm like, dude, I'm a man. You don't like me? And she's like, oh, well, you're fine.
You're
but
different.
Men, yeah,
You're different. You're different.
You're different. You need to teach other men. And I'm like, I just like, dude, that's just exactly, once you generalize an entire group, you're a problem. Like that's not a good way to think. You should take people on individually because we're humans. We have like a spirit. I believe anyways, that we have a spirit and that, of course people are products of their conditions and things like that. They're going to act away, but maybe you can be that person that runs into someone's life and can be another product of their, external environment that led them down a better path. I just hate that, you just judge everybody because they're this certain type of person. Anyways, yeah.
You can't judge anybody. I mean, I've been in places where, where was I? We were looking at something to buy and they looked at my tattoos and shit and just, my shaved head and walked by to the next fucking person. You know what I mean? And I was like,
what kind of purchase?
I don't know. I can't remember. It was Kendra and I, but I said, did you just see that bullshit? She goes, yeah, that's, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So, guess what? I'm not buying anything from here now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. This is fucking.
But I mean, people judge people by, the way they look or, you know what I mean?
I think it really is like, I'm sure people who like I went to school with in Portland that were just like, they were just very radiating with this problem of just generalizing and not wanting to associate people with people that think different than them and things like that. I feel like maybe they just need time to grow. Because like you said, you used to be not the greatest person until you're like 30. And I feel the same way. I'm about to be 30. So up till, I was like 25 probably. I felt like I was just, I would not have my shit together. I didn't have my foundation properly. I didn't understand what kind of man I wanted to be. I was very ego filled. It was like the whole world revolved around me kind of. Yeah. The way people made me feel. Everything had to be about my experience. And I think maybe there's just like that for everybody because we all grow up, we get born into this world and this is our first person point of view. That's all we get. And then eventually you get to a point where you can like start to break out of that point of view and start to see life for the grand experience it is for all of us together.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know, but that seems like a beautiful spot to end. Hey, what you got coming up, dude? You got, so Kendra's gone already?
Yeah. She'll be back, on the 28th. And then I think she's home for 2 weeks and then she'll go back to the training center. I'm not sure what's going on. They were talking about, an international, like a multinational camp or multi-international camp, either coming over here or going over to Ireland.
Whoa.
And then she comes home again after that. I think she's going to be gone for 4 or 6 weeks then. Then she comes home again, and then they're supposed to be getting ready for the Pan American Games. They said they still haven't decided on who they're taking to the Pan American Games. So that goes back to, the person that she's competing against.
Are they going to take the #1 national champion, or are they going to?
You know what I
We'll
mean?
see.
So it's. I mean, it is what it is. It's. I can't say it's a game, but I mean, you have to do what you have to do to stay in the game. You know what I mean? So we made some changes, and we got some other things coming up that I don't want to talk about, but we'll talk about it later. It'll be in the movie. So
Yeah. All right. You got Pan American Games, and if she does go,
if she does go, she has to take first or second, which I don't think that'll be a problem. She'll be qualified for the Olympics.
okay.
So that's the first qualification process for the Olympics.
All right. So right now, I set on Pan American, trying to get there.
And then the Olympic trials will be in December.
So how does the Olympic trials work?
Yeah, that's what.
Is that a whole ass?
That's what I was talking about. The evaluation.
Oh
camps.
shit! Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll hit that. We'll hit that.
So
next time.
when you win the Olympic trials this year, you'll go to an evaluation camp.
Oh yeah.
Against the team member, and you'll be judged on. Who knows what the judging will be on? They've, like I said, they change up their the way they're running things because they were, questioned about it, I guess, you know what I mean? And, if you change something up, if you're doing something, say you're running through life, you know what I mean? Just for instance, you're driving your car 35 miles an hour on the 35-mile-an-hour lane. Mm-hmm. Okay. And one day you say, fuck it. I'm going to do 60. You know what I mean? So you're driving along. Fuck it. I'm doing 60 down this street now. It's 35. Okay. So someone tells you, hey, Jason, that's a 35, man. Maybe you should slow down before you get a ticket, you get in an accident, whatever, kill somebody. And if you're wrong, if that's a 35 and you're driving 60, you're like, fuck, somebody noticed. Somebody noticed. So guess what? I better do 35 now. Mm-hmm. So if you weren't doing anything wrong at these evaluation camps, why would you change them?
Exactly. Great way to put it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why would you change it if you weren't doing anything wrong and you were called on it?
That fucking rule change rule is such bullshit.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. But I mean, literally, you wouldn't change a fucking thing, would you?
Yeah, you'd be like, it's 60.
Fuck you.
It's actually fine.
Yeah.
Like
It's
this is
fun. Fuck you. You know what I mean? I'm going to do what I want to do.
Yeah, no one's getting hurt. I can guarantee that. But no, you are screwing people.
Yeah.
You are potentially fucking people's lives over.
Yeah.
We'll see how this journey goes.
There's a lot more behind that.
Yeah, we'll see how this journey goes. We've literally we've had this kind of talk already in your dining room. We went over a lot. I wanted to get it on record for sure though, and talk about, so it'll give me something good to look back on when I'm trying to really structure and visualize how I'm going to tell the story. Because for me, going to this film, it's going to be my first feature length, and I really want to work the distribution models and figure out learn how to do those so I can know it. And so that's why I think this film would be a great learning experience for me to be able to see if we can get that shit distributed out, and maybe onto a streaming platform. And I'm sitting here trying to think of how to make it as creative and much of a film as possible.
My aunt and my family, because I did some dark shit. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I was involved with some dark shit. Shit happens, you know what I mean? And they told me, well, you should write all this down a long time ago. Fuck. I don't know. but they wanted me to, because I've lived so many different lives. You know what I mean? I think we all live different lives. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. If you walk through life and you stay the same, you know what I mean? Like, what was that movie Troy with Brad Pitt?
Yeah.
You know, he's the biggest man I've ever saw. I would not want to find him. You know what I mean? That's why nobody will remember your name.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that part. Yeah. And that's why no one will remember your name.
You know,
dude, I feel that. I love this podcast thing because like I'll talk with my friend Mark. He's one of my childhood friends. He'll jump on all the time, and I get to just like pull out old memories that I completely forgot about. And at this, dude, the great thing about media and a thing like this is it's just a little marker, and we'll always be able to look back and things that you forget as you get older and you start forgetting more things. We'll have this to be immortal. You know what I mean? Yeah. We'll be able to remember, and our kids will be able to remember, and our kids' will be able to look back. And how cool would it be to look back at your grandpa talking about boxing, dude, talking about what it's like about boxing in the 1930s. That'd be some sick shit to look back at. But we can't, so let's lay it down for the future.
All right.
All right, dude. Thanks for watching, everybody. We're getting out of here. Peace out.
Thank you.